Welcome to Monster Man. Get your paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
You know what I hate? When people screw that line up.
I may have just screwed that line up.
I hate when people just be like, "Oh, get off me, you stupid ape." I'm like, what?
Does it get your stinking paws off me?
Get your stinking paws off me, you damn
That dirty ape. Hey.
That's a great movie. Hey, by the way, guess what we're talking about?
We were talking about Planet of the Apes.
A Planet of the Apes retrospective. Because we can't get too much into War for the Planet of the Apes because I haven't seen it yet. So
Which,
that's why I wasn't on the Final Guys episode. And I still haven't.
So I will not spoil what happens.
Don't spurl it. I will say, the first 2/3 of the new trilogy, which is the prequel to everything, is maybe better than the original stuff.
That's going to be the crux of this whole conversation because I disagree with that.
Do you disagree only basing it solely on the original Planet of the Apes, but forgetting the other 4 iffy movies that came after?
Okay, here's my feelings. While the
We're in
quality
it now.
the quality of the original Planet of the Apes movies is very, very sketchy in many cases.
Well, the quality degrades
Yes.
as it goes further along.
And then, you know, the TV show, and I watched those movies through the eyes of an elementary school kid.
Mm-hmm.
So for me and you, life stopped when it was Planet of the Apes week on the 4:30 movie, or when the TV show was on. And
Planet of the Apes was the big thing for our generation. Before there was Star Wars, there was Ape-mania.
yeah, Planet of the Apes was like,
I had the tall Planet of the Apes figures.
I never had the Mego dolls.
play sets. I had them all. I had all of them.
But we used to play Planet of the Apes, and so
We used to round guys up in makeshift nets.
nice. The new ones, I think, are okay. I think
Really?
they're quality,
Right.
but I have no sort of desire to go back and revisit them once I see them. I'm like, okay, that's fine. They don't have that sci-fi appeal. Like, I was talking about this on the Final Guy show. There's a thing to, I like the apes being the bad guys,
Right.
and the humans fighting them, and then I know that there was some shifts in that towards the, and
Once
whatever.
Ricardo Montalban came
Yeah.
in, that's the shift.
I loved the General Ursus and the Dr. Zaius and the mutants and the time travel stuff. It was
Right.
way more of a sci-fi thing than this one. Like, it's good. It's
Does it seem
quality.
more like a war trilogy to you?
There's less humor and kitsch to this, and
Right. Well, yeah. I think it's more serious. It's definitely more serious.
it's more serious.
because they have. Because I think with the other ones, now this is based on a novel by Pierre Boulez,
Well done.
which, if you read the novel, is nothing like the movie.
That's what I heard.
Zero like the movie. There's a lot of space stuff in this. And then Rod Serling came in and wrote the screenplay for original Planet of the Apes, which to me that's sci-fi perfection. I don't know if they ever thought that there would be anything past this. I'm sure in Hollywood they're like, all right, we've got Roddy McDowell in an ape suit. This is going to go over well. And then it did so well that a couple of years later they made Escape from the Planet of the Apes, and it was like almost
And
every
clearly,
year.
from sequel to sequel, you see there was no thought put into continuity
And even
or forethought.
the makeup work was just got worse and worse to the point where the mouths aren't even moving in the last one, barely.
Welcome to Montreal.
So there wasn't this arch. I think they were making it up as they went along. This particular modern day version, they know exactly where this is going.
Yeah, which in the show we did, Jason actually even asked me at one point, where do I put this in trilogies of all time? To which I said, that's a good question, because I'd have to think about actual good trilogies. I don't think there's a ton of actual good, like there's Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and a few other, like The Godfather is 2 good movies and a crap movie.
Right.
There's a lot of movies that there's 3 movies, but then they keep going. So is it really a trilogy?
Yeah. Then they jumped to Sharknado.
Yeah. So, you know.
By the way, is this last one? Is this supposed to be it?
Well, it definitely closes the loop on this story, but
Right.
they opened them. It felt like they were going towards the Planet of the Apes,
Right.
which to me I feel like they should redo Planet of the Apes like this and not say that this is a prequel to the 70s or 60s, whenever this was done, to
68.
68, wow.
Yeah, good year. My year.
That was I remember it fondly.
Yeah, sure. Drooling on yourself.
Like, this is its own thing. The originals are fine, and I actually wouldn't mind if they redid, but I want them to do it like sci-fi, like make it way in the future and have like a time travel thing.
They should do the book then. That's what if they're going to circle around and be true to the original book.
How true is the Mark Wahlberg abomination?
That's true.
Because they said that the ending of that is more like the book.
You know what? I've honestly willfully forgotten most of that movie. Somebody pointed it out. They say, how come Mark Wahlberg, a trained astronaut, crashes everything he takes into flight, but a monkey can land safely with no problem? I've heard that Tim Burton deliberately sabotaged that movie and made it just an indecipherable mess because he wasn't happy.
That's funny because it might have been Bloody Good Horror. I was talking about the Planet of the Apes movies, and one guy pointed out,
BGH!
He goes, there's a scene in the one where they go back in time or something like. Anyways, like there's one scene where the apes are fascinated by a paper airplane that
right.
the human makes, and then like later in the movie they fix the spaceship.
Yeah, the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes is one that.
No, that wasn't. That was like in the originals.
Oh, in the originals. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But
So,
just avoid the Tim Burton one.
The Tim Burton one is
I love Tim Burton.
Aesthetically, it looked good.
Oh, it looked phenomenal, but it was to me it was just as bad as the movie version of Lost in Space.
Ugh.
Made both around the same time, and both of them were just such utter, and they shit all over my childhood. Both those movies just took.
That's a good question. What's worse?
They
the Planet of the Apes
dump.
or the Lost in Space?
Planet of the Apes looked better, but made zero sense. Lost in Space made sense. It was just stupid.
Lost in Space is probably more rewatchable.
I hated the robot.
I hated the robot.
The robot.
At least it had Heather Graham to look at.
It had Heather Graham and it had Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
So you had something there, and you also had Joey Tribbiani.
At least the robot had the real voice.
Right. Danger, danger, Will Robinson.
Who was the mom? Oh, it was Mimi Rogers.
Yeah. Mimi Rogers, who had a nice rack, but she had like a weird eye. She had like one eye that went way up here on her forehead and one like way down.
She was like the Goonies.
Goonie Rogers.
What was that monster's name of the Goonies?
I
Sloth
can't-
or something like that?
Yeah, I can't remember. You know what's funny? I was never a Goonies fan, only because it came out when I was older.
Yeah, we were older, so we don't appreciate it as much as...
I missed the Goonies, like Monster Squad and Goonies. I missed that whole train.
Yeah, I didn't see Monster Squad till way after it came out.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it till after college, till I was married, and then I was like, oh, this is cool.
The best thing about Monster Squad is that a movie that's made for kids has Dracula pick up a little girl and say, "Give me that amulet, you bitch!" And I'm like, what?
Yeah, you know what? We've become so... It's so weird. Modern day television and movie making is so bizarre because there's either it's completely crass, or if you're going to make it for kids, it is so watered down and just saccharine that it's unwatchable for an adult. There's like that middle ground.
Kids can handle some...
We grew up watching Bambi's mother died.
It turned out fine.
We're perfectly fine. People getting shot in the face, Daffy Duck getting shot in the face was all good.
I know, but I can only do it once.
Now, once you get past the original Planet of the Apes,
With Charlton Heston.
oh, he was great, and Nova. Nova was like one of my first crushes was Nova growing up, and I was
What's her name? Kim Novak?
No, it wasn't Kim Novak. I forget her name. And I was glad she was in the second one, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, which I didn't like that one.
So Escape from the Planet of the Apes is weird. It's been a long time, so I'm going to be a little fuzzy on these, but Escape from the Planet of the Apes is Charlton Heston in the beginning or only at the end?
He's at the end.
So there's another Charlton Heston-like guy.
Yes.
Who's in it for the most part. And then Heston shows up at the end with the mutants. We're going to spoil all these movies, so if you haven't seen freaking these movies from the early 70s, go watch them. What does he say when when he presses the button on the bomb. You've got all these mutants and stuff.
Oh my! Yeah, there was like the telepathic mutants, and there's apes, and there's. It was just. It's a weird movie.
See, that's the charm to me of these. Like, I know if we sat down and watched this right now, I'd be like rolling my eyes.
Right, but as a kid, it had everything you want.
The mutants.
Yeah. They could make people see like walls of flame and stuff, and it's weird. Here's why you should watch it. Sal Mineo is in it.
Oh, nice.
He plays Milo. Sal Mineo is in Rebel Without a Cause. He was James Dean, the little hangers-on to James Dean, who died tragically. He was murdered in a driveway.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So everybody in Rebel Without a Cause died young. But you got Roddy McDowell, Kim Hunter back as Cornelius and Zira. It's a fun movie, but I didn't dig it. But I did love the other one, which was it?
Wasn't the next one Escape?
Wait, there's Beneath. So we're talking about Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Beneath the Planet of the Apes, that's the second one.
Right, that's the second one. So it was Escape from the Planet of the Apes is the one with Ricardo Montalban.
So that's the time travel one.
That's the time travel one where they go back in time.
I think that's the one that has the paper airplane.
You're right.
But
I had that wrong.
But then they fixed, because in that one, like in Beneath, they blow up the planet and it should be the end.
It's over.
But then they retrofit.
Well, because they have to explain how the apes came to be, which is you have to have a future ape come back to our present day to start it all. It's a weird...
But it was kind of a cool, because that was one of the first times they did something like that. So at the end of that movie was Caesar's born.
Right.
Mama. And the great thing about that is the baby ape is like one clip of film that they just keep playing. And so it's like, Mama, rewind. Mama, rewind. Mama, rewind.
It was a GIF.
Yeah, it was a GIF. It was the first GIF.
Old time GIFs. Yeah, you're right. I like the when Zira and Cornelius are in the cage and they're doing the tests, and they're like, Cornelius, just be quiet and just go along with them, and she's like doing everything, and then she gets all frustrated.
You can't beat those two. They're so great.
You know what used to scare me? I used to think, because they were chimpanzees, right? They were huge. They were man-sized chimpanzees. I used to get scared that chimpanzees in the zoo would get that big, and I'm like, how can the cage hold them?
And actually, if you think about the temperament of apes, chimpanzees are like the spaz ones, and the gorillas are like the gentler ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, chimpanzees are dangerous. And then that was followed by the one. This is the one I loved as a kid the most, was Conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
So this is the one with they keep apes as pets.
They're making them butlers and servants. It's slavery. It's the most heavy-handed.
It's analogous to slavery.
What is Bobby Valentine?
Or Bob Kane, who created Batman.
Or Ray Barone.
Deborah, oh
no! People really don't like Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, but... So wait, there's an alternate ending to Conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
So isn't there a sort of a happy ending to that?
No.
Or
the ending is the apes are running wild, there's flames everywhere, and Caesar's giving his great big speech at the end. And you know that humans are screwed at that point.
I gotta look it up. I heard somewhere that there's a darker ending to that even.
Ooh, maybe there's like dead humans all around.
I think there's something. Check my work on this one. It's a little blurry, but
as a kid, I could recite word for word his speech, which
I always think of you when there's smoke, there's fire.
But that was no easy feat when you were a kid, because you got to watch it once every year or two. That was it.
Yeah, because if you weren't home, that's why like they would show all of them on the 4:30 movie, like Monday through Thursday. I don't even think it was on Friday.
Yeah, Monday through Thursday.
So Ape Week and Monster Week were like the two, and Vincent Price Week.
Scream.
So like often the priority was you got to see Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
It was almost like in order. So what's the last one?
The last one is this is Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
It's like Claude Akins in this one.
Claude Akins is in this. This is where apes and humans are kind of like battling, working together, and
this looks like they filmed this on the set of the A-Team. Like,
it's just terrible. However, it stars Austin Stoker, who is in Assault on Precinct 13, who I met at Chiller Theater and signed this for me.
Shut the front door,
baby. So Now I finally have an affinity for the movie because I met Austin Stoker. But
Nice.
before then, I could have cared less about this movie.
Paul Williams is in this. Is it he
Yeah.
like the Dr. Zaius like?
They didn't even need makeup.
That's right.
Just trundle around there. But poor Roddy McDowell in every single one of these movies. But yeah, I'm really impressed you got Claude Akins. You remembered that.
Oh, because that was one of those ones that I watched more recently.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, I forgot how low budget this is. The budget went for a movie that was so popular.
Yeah.
Because those Mego dolls, and like I said, like for us before Star Wars, Planet of the Apes was it.
Yeah.
A TV show. You were like, there's a TV show.
Oh, I love the TV. There were playing cards.
Lunch boxes.
There was a Planet of the Apes play set that you folded up like a suitcase, and my mother went to Alexander's to get one for Christmas, and she said it was the only time she fought with another human being was to pry this out of this guy's
Like
hand.
before Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah, this is like people I think that marketing with toys and movies started with Star Wars. It didn't. Planet of the Apes and Star Trek
Oh yeah.
came first, and some superhero stuff.
The Star Trek Star Wars relationship is very close because for everybody who's like, which is better? I'm like, these two things were made for the same people because Star Trek did this and it was great. Then Star Wars came and took it in a whole, for a sci-fi kid, you're like, wow, now they're like, it's more action and it's all this other stuff.
Right.
And so Star Wars built on what Star Trek was doing, then Star Trek was able to kind of build on that and get better.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, we're just like, this is great. We'll see Star Wars and then we'll see Star Trek. It'll be great. There was no like one or the other. It's like,
No.
bring them all on.
There
man.
was no fighting. You liked them both. That was what
because
you
it was
did.
so long between movies.
Right, so you liked them both. Going back to Ape Madness. So that we did the original 5. We've gone through that, and then we had Rise of the Planet of the Apes with John Lithgow.
That's my favorite of the new ones.
That's your favorite.
Yeah.
It's funny because Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. When I saw that coming attraction with an ape riding a horse, shooting a gun, I was like, I don't care what the story is in this movie. I'm in on that. I loved it.
That I walked. Maybe I need to watch it again. I saw it in the theater and I was like, eh.
I saw it at the drive-in.
And I liked War for the Planet of the Apes better than the middle one. Really did nothing for me.
Wow. Okay.
Because I just thought the whole thing was kind of dumb.
Right.
And I don't think I cared about any of the characters.
Oh.
But so I thought, like, I like them all. I think they're good.
Right.
But like, I'd never like buy the box set and rewatch them or anything. I like the first one the most because I felt like it had the most going on. There was funny parts. There was good emotional things.
Sad stuff in there.
And then the ending was kind of cool with all the stuff in San Francisco and everything like
Right.
that. So I really enjoyed that from start to finish. The second one, I was like, okay, fighting Gary Oldman, whatever.
Right. Oh, wow.
This third one, which is funny because I'm listening to some reviews and they're opposite. They're all like, oh, I like the second one better than the third one. So I just might be an outlier.
Well, but look, you like what you like.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of life. You don't have to don't go with the flow.
So my friend Nick, we saw the last one together. We both enjoyed it, but we both weren't like, this is the greatest.
Wait, you were an ape over it?
You didn't go ape over it. We were like, okay, yeah, that's good. If it comes on cable, I'd probably watch it once or whatever.
Right.
But again, though, I'm not an elementary school kid running home. But I don't know how much kids now with all
Oh, there's just so much.
Too much stuff. There's nothing special anymore.
I think these movies are for us,
Yeah, I do too.
and that's why they're so serious because we're older and more serious. So I think they're geared to
The
us.
special effects in all of them are amazing,
Yeah.
and
I love
Andy
to see-
Serkis is.
What a career! What a weird career he has carved out for himself.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see him.
You're going to see him in the Black Panther movie. He's the bad guy.
Oh, really?
He was in Age of Ultron.
Right.
Forget his name. But
Oh, cool.
he's the
Good for
bad
him. Good to actually be a human on screen
Yeah.
for once.
He's in the King Kong movie.
Which one is he in King Kong?
He's in the Peter Jackson King Kong movie.
No, forget it. That movie was just awful. No offense to Norm Hendricks, my good pal, who loves the Peter Jackson King Kong movie. He can wax poetic about this for probably a week straight without taking a breath. He can break that movie down and why every
Peter
frame is
Jackson
excellent.
needs an editor.
Well, it's like Prince needed somebody to tell him, look, man, we don't need another 20-minute song. Let's just do one album of 10 songs that are coherent and
Enough.
short.
Enough, Prince. Enough.
I'm gonna beat your ass till it's purple.
Purple pain.
Alright, so that's the 8 movies.
8 movies.
Go watch 8 movies. Go over 8 movies. Go Gaga. Go Lady
I gotta
Gaga.
go. I gotta marathon the
That
old
would be-
ones.
Marathon the old and the new.
That would be good because then you could really.
Without Tim Burton's.
No,
Just
that one doesn't exist.
throw that in the garbage. And then, if you haven't had enough, watch the TV show.
I think I have the TV show on VHS somewhere. I went to
Oh my god.
one of those conventions before conventions were vogue.
Right.
And it was like VHS. I got like the Fantastic Four unreleased movie.
Oh, I remember that.
I think it's at least some of the shows. It was like before YouTube and all that. I was like, we got them.
MeTV plays the Planet of the Apes show like at 6 in the morning on Sundays or something. If you really...
That
you don't
show
wanna
got
sleep.
into like, they had plots like of other TV shows. Like it was like,
It was like Starsky and Hutch meet Apes.
I always thought of Starsky and Hutch with those two guys.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
Also,
thought.
The guys, the dark-haired guy, his name is Naughton.
Right.
David Naughton or something like that. Or he's related to the guy from American Werewolf in London.
The Dr. Pepper kid. That's
Yeah.
always a remember him as.
He and this guy, look him up while we're talking.
All right.
He played Ally McBeal's father on Ally McBeal.
What?
So I'm in Westport, Connecticut at a restaurant with some people I work with.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this girl I work with goes, "Oh my God, that's Ally McBeal's father." And I turn around, and I mean, without blinking, I go, "Oh my God, it's the dark-haired guy from Planet of the Apes TV show."
James Naughton.
James Naughton. He is 5 feet away from me, and I didn't talk to him.
Right.
I just looked at him going,
You know, there were only 14 episodes of that show.
Roddy
it was
McDowell
much
was in
longer.
that too.
Roddy McDowell was going to do 8 movies until the day he died. I'm sure maybe Friday night he goes, "Can I do an ape? Can Peter Vincent be an ape?"
Vampire ape.
But James Naughton is still alive. He's still going.
God bless him. All right.
All right, that's Planet of the Apes, buddies. Go see the new one. You know,
I can't wait to see what you think of the new one. I liked it.
I can't wait. Me
It's
and
good.
Mommy are going, and we're gonna have fun.
I like all of the new Planet of the Apes movies, but I don't like love.
You're not Gaga. Well,
Not
we're
Gaga.
older. We got other things to be Gaga about, like cholesterol meds, Lipitor, and everything else going on in our lives. But I think I'm
See you next time on
Monster Men.